I want to be clear about something, okay? And I need you to understand where I'm coming from. I've been on the run for a while. Right, I was in Europe for over 20 days, then home for like a week and a half, then back in Europe for another week. I've been running so much that I actually haven't been running. Now we've got we've got a matter of national security for Arsenal going on at some point in this video, but I feel the need to clarify the fact that even though I am running a marathon at the beginning of November, I haven't run in a week and a half. Now I can't help but blame the obviously culpable party here, which is you. I have to blame you because I feel as though recently on these videos I have not been bullied hard enough into running. Even though I was traveling a bunch, and even though, in places like Gibraltar, I didn't feel like running up hills. If I'm bullied enough, I will run. I think that that's been pretty conclusively proven over the course of me running one marathon before. But look, if you don't bully me, right? If you don't make me run, essentially, then I'm going to fail this marathon. And the only person, right, that will be able to blame in that instance is you, right? It's obviously not me. Why would it be me? No, it would be you that we would be able to blame in this particular situation, because how else am I supposed to be able to run if I am not being forced to do it by your ever more creative comments trying to get me to run in the first place? Now, maybe if you want me to run, you should try some alternative motivational techniques. The sort of thing that perhaps Mikel Arteta would be involved in. Because I don't know if you've seen this story, but this is fucking crazy, right? The first time I saw this story, I didn't believe it was real. I actually thought that it was one of those things that kind of goes viral on the internet for 5 minutes before somebody goes, this is obviously fake, and here's why. But that didn't happen. That did not happen. Instead, it turned out that this story was actually completely real, and I just don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I have no idea how I'm supposed to feel about it. It has to do with Mikel Arteta, right? And Mikel Arteta basically holds a team dinner, right? He's the coach of Arsenal. If for some reason you haven't met the guy, he looks like he attaches his hair like a Lego piece every morning. That guy. He holds a team dinner, right? Because these teams are always together. I'm assuming they're doing some preseason tour of the United States that they can then later complain about fixture congestion with. And I'll just read what Sporting News has written about this. In a report from The Athletic, during dinner with his players, Arteta secretly brought in a team of professional pickpockets. These sleight of hand artists went around the tables, stealthily stealing phones and wallets from the unsuspecting first team squad. Now, you might have your first reaction here, which is, why? That is the only possible reaction to this. There is no other sane reaction to the fact that the head coach of Arsenal, according to The Athletic, has hired pickpockets to go around and steal stuff from the players on his team. And it raises so many questions. Now, the listed reason here is to teach the squad a valuable lesson about being alert and prepared at all times. I'm sorry, I didn't know Manchester City was invading the team dinner. That somehow being able to keep your watch from being stolen by a professional pickpocket was going to teach you to do a better job of dealing with Erling Haaland. Like, somehow those two things are correlated. Like, I realize, right, that Mikel Arteta is the coach of a major club, and I am not, right? I am the coach of virtual clubs on Football Manager sometimes, right? We have a lot of fun doing that on stream. But, I also have never considered subjecting my Football Manager club to being, beaten and robbed in an alleyway as a way to teach them to be more alert when they're out on their own. Like, Pep Guardiola isn't hiding in my closet. Like, you putting inflatable Pep Guardiolas all over the training ground and they pop out and jump scare different members of the Arsenal team. This is so over the top, utterly absurd I kind of love it just because of the fact that I now know that it happened. But it also kind of makes me feel that Mikel Arteta is losing his mind. And I mean, he delivered this like he was auditioning for a role in the movie The Prestige. Apparently, the way this went is at the end of the meal, Arteta asked his players to empty their pockets, revealing the missing items. Ta-da! And then all of a sudden, he's got a big tray on the table and he lifts up the tray and all of the items are there. That part isn't actually in the story, but if it was, it would be even better. The unexpected exercise designed to emphasize the importance of constant vigilance and readiness. Yeah, you're also going to give your players like freaking PTSD, right? They're going to be waking up in the middle of the night thinking that Mikel Arteta's hiding in their closet wearing a Pep Guardiola mask. But the more I sat here and kind of thought about this situation, there are some unanswered questions which people on the internet were picking up on, right? Because you read the headline, Mikel Arteta has hired pickpockets to basically rob the Arsenal team and then unveil the fact that they've all had their wallets stolen while they were sitting at a team dinner, which I would assume up until that point they figured was a pretty safe space, from having their wallets stolen. But the first question that came to mind is, how do you just get a bunch or at least a few pickpockets to blend in at a team dinner? I mean, this is an Arsenal team dinner. How many new people can you introduce? I mean, this isn't Chelsea. They didn't just sign 8 new guys that they can pretend are new signings and then have them walk around and pickpocket everybody. How do these people that are pickpockets that you've brought to the team dinner, how are they able to move about the crowd at a team dinner for Arsenal without anybody noticing that there's like 6 or 7 new people that are going around trying to shake everybody's hands so they can lift their watch? That in itself didn't make a lot of sense to me. Then, of course, there is the question of how you are hiring professional pickpockets in the first place, right? Which I feel like a lot of people that are reading and reporting on this situation, they didn't ask this question. And I'm really curious. As this person points out, imagine getting a work email from Mikel Arteta saying, hey, I need you to hire a team of professional pickpockets. Is this something that the Arsenal administration is capable of doing? Is there a manager for Mikel Arteta, or is this like a job for a trusted assistant coach, right, that you dispatch into some weird dusky alleyway to try and find, maybe they're running tests to find the best pickpockets. They line up 100 pickpockets. It's like a hackathon or something, and the fastest watch steals, you're able to actually get access to the Arsenal team. I mean, if you ask me, right, if I got this work email from Mikel Arteta and it was like, hey man, go hire some professional pickpockets, I wouldn't know where to start. I mean, where do you start if you're looking for professional pickpockets? I just go to Times Square and wait until somebody takes my wallet and then follow them back to their lair? Like I would not even know how to try and hire. I mean, so like, can you go to Craigslist and be like, hey, I would like to hire 7 pickpockets, please. Amazon delivers them in 3 business days, too, if you have Prime. How does this work? Then, of course, there are some other potential dangerous things, not even just for Arsenal, but for the pickpockets. What if Mikel Arteta just says he doesn't know the pickpockets when they're caught, and Arteta denies ever knowing them? And all of a sudden, these guys are just holding the wallets and phones and watches of all of the Arsenal players trying to sneak out of the hotel they're having the team dinner at, and all of these guys get arrested. Or what if they get caught while they're at the dinner? What if you're trying to steal William Saliba's wallet and he catches you, and all of a sudden a giant brawl breaks out at the Arsenal team dinner? Like there's potential boundless opportunities for stupidity, and this is not even counting the fact that I'm assuming these people lifted all of this stuff. They could have just run away. What if Mikel Arteta hires the wrong pickpockets? What if Mikel Arteta hires the pickpockets that you can't trust, which I would assume is most pickpockets, right? And then all of a sudden, all of your players' wallets have been stolen, and the pickpockets just leave with the wallets and the phones and I mean, that's a lot more money than you'd normally have access to if you were a pickpocket and you're just ripping off tourists on the tube. This is a real gold mine for pickpockets. And they could have just stolen all of this stuff and left, in which case Mikel Arteta just accidentally robbed the entirety of his own team. Then, of course, there is the potential for even more interesting antics from Mikel Arteta. As my friend Visit points out, another potential idea or another potential future quote from Mikel Arteta, yes, I did scheme a live hostage situation on Martinelli last week. He needs to learn the importance of performing under pressure. I'm all in favor of this. You know, just a casual live hostage situation to liven up a Monday evening. You know, mid-season, it's getting dreary. Maybe you're in December, you're in January, there's a match every 4 days and it's an absolute nightmare. Boom, live hostage situation. Keeps them on their toes. They never know when to expect Mikel Arteta popping up like this conspiracy theory. I also believe that this is a real danger. Bukayo Saka's child's 18th birthday party. They turn to him and say, "Daddy, thank you for raising me and giving me this wonderful life," before unzipping the back of their head and removing a full bodysuit to reveal Mikel Arteta. "You have failed the fucking awareness test." That's okay. In all of this situation, this is the best tweet that I found. 18 years, but 18 years used to teach a valuable lesson about constant vigilance. Bukayo, how could you fall for that sort of thing? And then there's the most lovable reaction of all. Arsenal fans thinking that the antics, his antics have upset the rest of the league, or they have the rest of the league on strings. No, this is just weird. Now, Arsenal's obviously in line to compete for a Premier League title, a Champions League title, and anything else that they might have the opportunity to win, because they're clearly one of the best teams in the world and have been for at least the past year. But Mikel Arteta robbing his own team at a team dinner is probably not going to be a large contributing factor to whether they're actually able to do all of those things or not. But what do I know? I've never hired pickpockets to try and motivate the editors of this channel or any other channel that we work on. So maybe I'm missing out. Maybe I'm just not seeing the true potential here. I don't know.